Well, hi, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Ralph behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And look, we're right back where we started.
Back at the cottage.
Back at the cottage, back in the kitchen. It's May, and we are kicking off another season. Although the weather isn't cooperating, it's cold, it's rainy, we don't care. You know what? We're at the cottage.
And all is right with the world.
It is. This is our happiest place on earth. And so we are actually spending a good part of the day kind of getting the cottage ready for the season, which means vacuuming and wiping things down and all that kind of stuff. And so I want to make dinner for tonight, but I'm doing it in the slow cooker. That way it will do its own thing, and when we're hungry and it's time to eat, I won't have that much to do. I'm making a dish called chicken spaghetti.
Yum.
And chicken spaghetti is, there are different variations. There's a southern version that's kind of a casserole style, and I've had it and it's excellent. This is a slow cooker chicken spaghetti, okay? So Ralph, come on over here. Here's the crock pot we're using, okay? Slow cooker. I've already got 3 chicken thighs in there. I'm going to put in one more. Now, these are with the bone in and the skin on, but what you can see that I'm doing is I've cut the skin away. So, because you know what, the chicken skin, when you bake chicken, or fry it too, of course, the skin gets nice and crispy. Not so in the slow cooker.
It just gets mushy.
It gets mushy, and it just adds a lot of extra fat. So people say, well, why don't you just use skinless, boneless? Because I do want the bone. The bone really imparts a great flavor to
and
the
maybe
chicken.
even a little bit of the fat from, you don't quite take it all off, do you?
No, there's always a little bit left on.
That gives it a little flavor,
So,
too.
I had four thighs, and I've got 4 chicken legs here. So basically, this is dark meat, but you don't have to use this. If you prefer white meat chicken, by all means, go ahead and get chicken breast.
Using scissors to cut the fat off.
Well, these are kitchen shears, and this is really what they're made for, cutting things like this. And sometimes it pulls right off, but sometimes you got to cut it off.
Does it come off easier off the dark meat or the white meat, or is it about the same either way?
It's about the same.
So you're saying people can use whatever their preference is?
Yeah, whatever your chicken, preference is.
Whatever your chicken delight is.
Exactly. So, okay.
We just picked up an album by Astrid Gilberto that we're listening to in the background for 8 cents.
8 cents. They were 12 records for $1 at one of our favorite thrift shops over in Carsonville. And so, what were you telling me? She was the bossa nova queen or something like that?
Well, she had the big hit, that version of The Girl from Ipanema. Mm-hmm. Or the Oompa Loompa from Ipanema. No, the girl from Ipanema, and she was involved with Stan Getz and married to João Gilberto, and just did a lot of great music. She has that sort of soft baby doll, breathy vocal that we like Blossom Dearie and Claudine Leger. We like those styles. So anyway, back to the dish. All right, so I'm gonna put in half of these. So we've got 4 thighs in there. I diced up 2 medium onions. Let's put half of this over the thighs. Okay. So you're doing like a layer thing here?
Yeah, and then we're going to put in our chicken legs. Put that on top. I've got the crock pot on high, by the way. And we're going to put in the rest of our onion. Now, the only other thing we need to do is we need to put some liquid in here. So we'll be right back, and we'll put a little liquid. You could use a number of things. You know what's real good with this is apple juice if you have it.
Wow, that sounds
You could
fun.
also just use chicken broth. I got to look in the cupboard and see what we
actually have.
Wash the chicken goo off my hands, and we'll be back. Okay, we got our chicken in there and onions, and we just needed some
a little broth,
liquid to go in here. Now,
truth be told, Kevin was just making this for our dinner, and I said, you know what, why don't we film this, because you haven't made this before for Cavalcade of Food.
And so I looked around and I said, well, what kind of liquid do I have? And I didn't have any apple juice.
That sounds good, though.
Yeah, because apple and chicken, and there's going to be a barbecue sauce component to this. And so apple kind of goes with that. We don't have apple juice. So anyway, we're just using chicken broth, and that's
Which is fine.
Absolutely. We're going to season it up with a little pepper.
A little S&P. So what's...
Again, I think I mentioned I've got the... I got the crock pot on high. Let's put in a little salt.
What other kind of juices could you use? Like fruit juices, like orange juice?
You could use something like, sweet, like an orange juice.
Pear juice, apple
pear
juice.
You could use...
ginger ale?
You could, yeah. Mm-hmm. You could just use water if you wanted to and just season it up.
Keep that chicken flavor.
Because we're not going to use the broth so much. It's just to maybe impart a little extra flavor into the chicken as it cooks. Done. All right? 5 hours. It's going to cook on high, okay?
So that's it for this step?
That's it for this. We got a lot of work to do around here in the meantime. So we'll come on back when the chicken's cooked, and we'll take it to the next step. We're making slow cooker chicken spaghetti.
Kevin's chicken spaghetti. Chicken biscotti coming up on
Cavalcade. All right.
Ooh.
Look at that. So 5 hours has passed, and I'm going to take our chicken out first. Now you see, remember those onions we put in? They're all over the place. So the chicken is tender like you wouldn't believe.
So it's been cooking for 5 hours and creating this delicious oniony, chickeny broth, which you're going to use for the sauce?
Yes, I'm going to incorporate some of the broth and the onions in the sauce. Right now we just want to take the chicken out, and I'm using sort of this strainer here to do that.
What a great spoon.
I'm putting it, it is great. Comes in real handy. I'm putting it on just a baking sheet that I lined with foil, and that's just for
convenience.
Yeah, easy cleanup. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put a little barbecue sauce on the chicken, and then we're going to put it under the broiler. See,
so that'll
let
stick
that cook on. Something I think we didn't note when we started is we did add smoked paprika. I forgot I had that.
It's whatever you find in the cupboard, right? Yeah,
this is opening weekend. I can't remember what's in all the boxes. We're kind of unpacking still, and the weather's getting nice finally. And so, anyways, we put in some smoked paprika, but okay.
But basically, the seasonings are smoked paprika, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
So it's up to folks what they like to use.
These onions give it a lot of flavor. So I'm going to finish getting this out, and then we'll come back and sauce it up. Okay.
Sauce it up.
So here we are. We're doing a quick and dirty little barbecue sauce on this incredibly juicy, tender chicken. Now, use whatever kind of barbecue sauce you like.
Make your own or use from the bottle. Kevin's favorite is
Kraft.
The original.
Kraft original, but again, this is what I like, but it's just easy.
It's just a step.
Yeah. So we're going to put, like I said, don't worry about those onions. Leave them on. They give a lot of flavor.
So you just barbecue one side?
Yeah, just one side.
Broil it?
Because, the chicken, it comes apart. I need a little bit more sauce. The chicken is so tender that you almost can't even flip these pieces of chicken over without them completely coming apart. So
when you bake it or broil it, does it hold it together better?
Well, the sauce does. The sauce will kind of bake on because, in barbecue sauce, there's a lot of sugar or honey or whatever they use. So put your stove on broil. When you're done, we're going to put our chicken under the broiler. Okay, in our 1954 Frigidaire. Now you can see I've got a pot here with water.
With your biscotti.
And I've got a pound of spaghetti. We're using thin spaghetti here because that's what I have on hand. So I break mine in half. Some people say that's a sacrilege. I don't know. But
This is your recipe, your style.
This is,
you do it your
You don't
way.
have to break your spaghetti if you don't want to, but we're gonna
Get that nice and
let's
tender.
get it going. We're gonna cook the spaghetti till it's nice and soft, and then where this recipe is unusual is we have to make our sauce, and we're gonna make the sauce after we get the spaghetti started. And you're like, what? Okay, let's go back to our crock pot. So, remember these onions?
Wait, let me get a good shot of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got that? And you'll see there's also like little loose pieces of chicken
Oh, yeah.
that well, we don't want the bones.
No.
But that have fallen off. You don't need all of them, but what I'm doing is I'm scraping up some of these onions because they're tender. Now it's going to take our barbecue sauce.
Huh. That looks good. So you just add that to the flavorful onions that have been crock potting for a while.
And this is probably going to be about 1.5 cups of barbecue sauce. And then you know what? There is our sauce that's going to go on our spaghetti.
Wow.
If you want to thin it out a little bit more, I like it a little on the thicker side, but you can, add a little bit of the juice in here, and that'll thin the sauce out a little bit. So we're just going to keep that on low here.
Great.
And that's it. We will be back and get all the chicken spaghetti components put together. We're almost done. So our chicken has been under the broiler. Check it out, Ralph. Doesn't that look beautiful?
Wow, that looks great.
See that nice crust? That's all we wanted. So
that's going to go on top of spaghetti with that sauce?
So what we'll do is when the spaghetti's cooked, we'll drain the spaghetti. We'll toss it in the onion barbecue chicken sauce, and then we're just going to serve the chicken pieces right on top.
That sounds delish.
So that's our chicken spaghetti. We're almost there. We'll be back
Spaghetti.
to finish it up. The spaghetti is done.
Have you tested it? Make sure it's nice and soft.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
So I'm going to just drain it off.
But not too soft.
Not too soft. Everybody has their own kind of personal spaghetti or pasta doneness level. Ooh, getting a spaghetti facial here. Okay, so back in the pot it goes. Okay, so spaghetti is done. Now we're going to come on over here, and here's our beautiful sauce.
Oh, that goes right into the spaghetti.
Goes right into the spaghetti. So again, this is our, instead of a pasta sauce or what have you, this is our sauce.
Chicken barbecue sauce.
Chicken
barbecue. It's got
barbecue.
chicken flavors and barbecue sauce flavors.
And that wonderful, soft, sweet onion. So
that cooked for hours and hours.
I like to kind of mix it in the pot and get it nice and incorporated.
Because like you said, there's also chunks of chicken in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it smells wonderful.
It's an interesting color.
Yeah, it's light. It's kind of a reddish brown color. Okay, now here's our platter. We're gonna turn it out. How's that?
Wow.
We're having a hangover. Family style. That's right. So around here, family style means if you want more, you get it yourself. All right. Now here's the chicken. And really, I just really do it like this. We just, like so.
Oh, so when people take their portions, they'll just get a piece of chicken and some spaghetti and have their complete meal right there.
But it's a real crowd pleaser. Again, we used drumsticks and thighs because we prefer sort of the darker
juicy
meat
dark
chicken.
meat.
But you could do this just as easily with chicken breasts. You might want to cut them and make them kind of smaller.
Yeah, or do a mix of the two. And I like the part where you just let it cook for 5 hours while you go out and do things that you need to get done. And
no fuss, no muss. There it is, folks.
Barbecue chicken spaghetti, Kevin style.
So, listen, Hope you have a great summer. We're ready for a wonderful season here at the cottage. Friends, family, people coming up, and good eating as much as anything else.
See you next time on Cavalcade of Food.
Thanks for being a part of this one. We had fun. Hope you did too.